Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. It's so lovely to have you here. Josh, Luca, Juice, Red Mage, anybody else who's just hanging out in chat. It is wonderful to have you. I appreciate the fact that we're all rolling. We're about a day late for it, but it's okay because we can always roll. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a lovely Saturday. I didn't do much today, but I think that's exactly as much as I needed to do. I hope you all have had a good day so far, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of hours as we explore even more of Xenoblade Chronicles. We are getting to one of my favorite, just kind of general segments of the game, not necessarily this stream, but the several streams coming up. Cover some of my favorite story beats, some of my favorite bits of world building. It is so good. Like, we're very clearly in the third act of the story, and as a result of that, we're going to hit some of the strongest story beats as we go along. I'm very excited for what's coming up. And so, let's get to it. I should probably stop the background music. We don't need that anymore. So, just so everybody knows, I did a shit ton of side questing in between streams. Heck, my audio's a little bit crackly. I'm gonna see if I can fix that quickly. I've had a lot of problems with crackly audio. I may have to start asking around in forums. But yeah, I did a ton of side questing. And just before we move on, I would like to collect the fruits of some of those. Beginning with, let us continue with the reconstruction of Colony 9. Also, let me know if the volume's good. I've got it a little bit lower than usual. I think I'm just going to boost that a tiny bit. But if it's too loud or too soft, please let me know. So, I have now collected everything I need in order to get housing, nature, and special to level 3. I didn't show this on stream, partly because a lot of these are just collectibles, and they're not particularly exciting to watch someone just run around and collect. Especially, anybody who's played this game, the phrase ice cabbage just makes you sad. Ice cabbages are so fucking rare. And you need 2 of them. You actually need 3 if you also want to do your Collectopedia, which I did. So, it's frustrating. But we can increase housing to level 3, which builds several new houses. And it's starting to look more like a place where people actually live, instead of just a place where refugees are. You can see the population is now 44. Commerce we increased to level 3 a while ago. And we're far enough in the game to get all of these, but there's no particular rush. Oh, also, I sold a lot of shit I don't need, and now I have plenty of money. I've been struggling with money throughout the game. I no longer am. Let's upgrade nature. And this has a small but very useful benefit. You're correct, Luca. We really are. We made about 500,000 between streams. Nature level increased by 1. Flowers have been planted on the main street. The mine's ether crystals have gone up in rank. This is the big benefit of increasing the nature level. By increasing the richness of the natural environment, the ether crystals in the mine become better. So now we can more easily get higher quality ether crystals. From them we can get better gems, and we can upgrade our peoples. And special, which allows us to build a park, which is lovely. I really like the look of this park. It's a little bit small, but it's so pretty. And since we've got everything to level 3, they have added more streetlights. But more importantly, we get a present from the residents. Topple plus level 4. Which is just actually incredible. It extends the duration of Topple, which makes it a perfect art to have either on Dunban or, more realistically, on Himbo. Why do I have him on not the best gear? God, I've not been keeping up with Ryan. But more importantly than Art's Heal, it is time to give him this Topple Plus. Extends the duration that an enemy will suffer Topple by 40%, which is massive. The world's also just getting a lot prettier now. And it's a little bit subtle. You know, the music is really not sounding great. Am I hearing a lot of crackling? Or is that in-game crackling, or... Hi, Niv. Yeah, my capture card is giving me crackly audio, and I don't know why. Oh, that's just awful. Huh. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to sort this out. Oh, this is very unpleasant. Anyway, what I wanted to point out is that the background music for Colony 6 does actually change in order to kind of indicate that things are getting better, but you can't hear it properly. And it's like, the crackling is coming in these weird waves. Yeah, I tried that, Red Mage. I've tried a bunch of things now. That's louder. Much louder. But also seems much less crackly. That's assuming anybody else can hear it. Can you guys hear the in-game music now? I'm curious. Because I can hear it. Okay, you hear it. That's good. But it's still a little bit crackly. Heck, I hate this. Anyway, here's the park. It's super pretty. There's a heart-to-heart there, which we're not going to bother with. Ooh, I needed a love crane, apparently. Yes, Niv? I will check that out. Can you post that in my Discord? Because I'll lose it while it's in chat. But also, everybody else check that out. Also, want to check the extent to which that crackliness is like in-game wind, and the extent to which that is crackly. Ether mine will be good for that. Perfect, Niv. I will check it out. Okay, part of what I was hearing is just like in-game like wind sounds. Okay, the crackliness is definitely better. Now, how's the volume? I basically just changed the way OBS was picking up my sound. And at least on my side, it's better. I don't know why it's loading here. Oh, okay. It's just a different area. Anyway, that was the first thing I wanted to show before we move on. The other thing was... Thanks, Niv. Yeah, I think it is less crackly. Capture cards. Such a fantastic technology, which I think will probably be really good in about 5 years. Yeah, now I'm hearing footsteps and birdsong, and as long as the volume is good, I'm happy. So, we had a lengthy side quest. Oh good, the audio's out of sync now. Cool. Who here likes technical issues? Anyway, we had a lengthy side quest where we had to prove to this girl that, firstly, that boys can be best of friends, which was easy, because Shulk and Ryan are, and then prove that girls can be best of friends. And part of what happened during the 2 weeks of side questing I did is that Melia and Charla are now best of buds. Look at them. They love each other. Anyway, I'll sort out the delay in a moment. Now, Paula, please, acknowledge that girls can be friends. Wow, amazing! I guess girls really can be as good friends as boys. I hope I can make up with Noreen. If Shulk and Ryan can be good friends, me and Noreen can too. Plus, we're big girls now. We shouldn't keep arguing. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna make up with Noreen right away. We're gonna be like best friends forever. And now I can go speak to Noreen, the girl who started all of this off. This is one of the longest running quests, but is worth it. If I remember correctly. Yes, needs to speak to Shulk. That basically confirms why I think this is a very good one. Niv, thank you for the host. Now slightly more people can watch me figure things out live on stream. You know, at some point, they probably will, Kuko. Finally, Paula's changed her mind. Now we can get back to hanging out with each other again. Quest completed. So that gives me a Days Plus level 4. Again, incredibly powerful, as well as 20 1,000 experience.
I need to be even stronger.
But not what I thought it was going to give me. Interesting. Like, it was still worth it. But I thought I was going to get something else from that. Shulk, you don't need the experience up anymore. Get that days plus, buddy. Okay, let me try to figure out why this is out of sync. Probably a lot softer now. Probably a lot softer now. But it's in sync. And it doesn't sound It doesn't sound crackly. Yes, Niv. That is what I said, and that is what I meant. God, has anybody thought about InSync ever? I mean, I guess, Niv? Anyway. Not change time. Dang it. Just before we move on to Mechonis Field, there are a few side quests I managed to complete in the Hidden Machina Village. So let's just hand those in. And now that the audio is no longer screwed up, it seems. Confession. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of The Simpsons. Voltac.
Yes?
I see you've gathered the ingredients. This is precisely what we needed. Now we can continue treatment. When I was growing up, Juice, it's like it was impossible for us to get it. Like, it didn't broadcast on the free-to-air channels in South Africa, and my parents did not have the money to pay for the premium channel, so we just didn't watch it. Oh yes, Kuko. I've watched the entirety of Futurama up to season 4. I've never seen like the follow-on stuff, but I've watched all of that several times. I can't even remember what this guy needed. I just got him some ingredients for shit. I see no end to the casualties as long as the Mechon are around, but I will do everything I can to help those who need it. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Stop at season 4. So I did. Ooh.
Yes?
He has more quests. You've discovered the base of the Mechon attacking our village. You may already know of it. They launched their assaults from Digit 1 Crevice. It is quite removed from the sites they normally attack. That is why it took some time to pinpoint the exact location. This brings me to my request. Can you defeat the Mechon there? Sure, off stream probably. Family Guy had a few funny jokes, but Family Guy really got bad fast. Anyway, I actually want to switch up my party. There's nothing too difficult coming up. Actually, Dunban and Fiora. They're brother and sister, but they haven't spent a lot of time together. God, Mikol is amazing. He's just so large. This lady has been waiting at this point several weeks to get into her house. But she's still grateful that we helped her. Now I can finally fix my door and get back into my house. My big sister collected up some scrap for me to repair. The work's really been piling up. Looks like I'd better get cracking. Ooh, physical defense down is a nice one. Yeah, look, there is a way to do offensive that is funny. And there's this guy. This lady. You're all such strong fighters, and because of that, you've made our home safe again. I want to thank you on behalf of the whole village. We're very grateful. I'm glad everything worked out. Now I can go back to salvaging scrap again. Wish me luck. Ooh, strength down 5. So that means auto attacks have a chance of lowering enemy strength. And weapon power 5 just means your weapons are more effective at what they do. Those are both amazing gems.
Welcome.
Let me guess, you want to kill me to... you want me to kill more things? Turns out the Mechon you defeated were emitting a signal. Now that the signal has stopped, other nearby Mechon have gone on a rampage. That's fine. But again, this feels very between streams. This is not story things. God, 10 of them? Oh. Oh, this is... This is definitely worth doing. In that quest reward, you see armor records. I'm going to do this on stream just because of what the reward is. In all truth, we should be defending ourselves. Sadly, the Machina have grown weak since we left the capital. Apparently, one of the things that South Park did to get past censors was every episode had one completely horrible, terrible, offensive joke. Which was so bad that the censors immediately caught it and removed it. And it just kind of let everything else go unnoticed.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard. I don't have time for small fry.
Leave this fight to me. Double wind!
Ooh.
Good job, everyone. Not bad. Not bad at all.
We've
God, this
definitely
music's
gotten
good.
stronger.
Niv, it's not the same joke in every one. It's just, in every episode, they've got one joke so offensive that they know for a fact that the censors will pick it up and get rid of it, and that kind of satisfies the censors.
I'm gonna go all out.
Since we're here, we're gonna fight the broken Mechon as well.
I will, Dumban.
God, this is a unique monster, and we're just wrecking it.
Right,
Or,
let's keep going.
interesting, it's not unique. Unique monsters always drop gold chests.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Leave this fight to me.
Leave this for me.
Look, I will admit, I'm not a fan of South Park. I'm not a huge lover of the piss people off on purpose style of humor. But I also recognize what South Park is doing, and nobody does it as well as they do. Yes, take your meds, everybody.
That was great, guys.
We are at one with the battle.
Hi, Zach. You cute and I love you. Like, I don't know South Park well enough to know if you're right or wrong, Zach. All I know is I don't like humor of the style, let's piss people off on purpose. But if you're going to piss people off, that's the right way to do it. They have their style down perfectly. Oh, Nev. The best thing is, that's probably exactly what happened.
How do you like that?
This is how we do it.
I mean, I don't think Luca was actually sleeping at their desk, but everything else in there was 100% accurate.
Weak, but don't drop your guard. I don't have time for small fry.
God, Dunban's cool. Who the fuck made Shulk the main character? What bullshit is this?
I'm gonna go all out.
I want to be able to draw, but I don't want to put in the work. Oh? Ooh, a unique monster. Splendid Bottas. And genuinely pretty strong.
Here we go.
Can I break you? I can. Which means I can topple you.
Your turn.
Okay, my turn.
Which means I can daze you.
You're not done yet.
Leave it to me. Pesky thing.
That's gonna be a long daze.
How do you like that?
We will remain.
This'll come up.
There's no rest.
Where is your side, sir? There we go. And let's finish it off with Monado Buster. That didn't finish it off.
Behold the power of the Monado.
I mean, it basically did.
Let's press on.
Let's press on and on and on.
Ah. The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard. I don't have time for small fry.
This should be easy.
All right, I'm thinking.
Chat, is it weird that I want to be able to draw, but I don't want to put in any effort?
Here we go. Backslash. Come back. We're counting on you.
Like, I just want to become good at drawing.
My turn.
I want, like, a genie's wish.
Gonna win.
Come on. We're not finished.
Leave it to me. Split edge. It's not over yet. Leave it to me. Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Good job, everyone. Perfect.
You see, part of my problem... Oh, shit! Okay. So, we've reached the point in the game where sometimes this happens. You see there, the third item is Zero Gravity. That is a level 10 art book for, in this case, Fiora, for her Zero Gravity attack. You can only ever buy up to level 7 art books that let you upgrade arts up to level 7. But from certain enemies, you can find ones that let you upgrade further. And this is the point where it starts happening. Ooh. Yes! That's exciting. I mean, it's also kind of not, because Fiora stinks. She doesn't. I know. I just still struggle. But yeah, that starts happening now. Anyway, so part of the issue for me with drawing is like I'm in Deer's Discord, and I see the I see like the Doodle Fort prompts, but I'm way too not good to do a Doodle Fort prompt. Like, I can't do... Like, this month is dynamic poses. Fuck, I can't even do a good stick thing.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
So, that's the unfortunate position I'm in. I want to draw, but I don't know...
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
This should be easy.
Yeah, but, you know... I'm the kind of person who kind of... I struggle to do anything unless I feel competent at it. It's part of the reason that I was comfortable going into streaming. Because I have always been, like since I was a kid, I've been a pretty natural public speaker. It's one of the things I'm reasonably good at. And on top of that, I enjoy it. So streaming was easy for me. But I have to overcome the part of myself that wants to be good at drawing before I start drawing, because, like, that's not how it works. I also have the problem of just, there's a lot of shit I want to do. Which I know is a common problem. Hi, Copper. No, but here's the thing, Zach. I actually really like your emotes. I cannot draw half that well. Here's the thing. I considered taking art in high school. Yeah, Zach, your Pog mode is fucking amazing. I considered taking art in high school. In my high school, you had to be invited to take the art course, and I was invited. I was interested enough in drawing that I practiced a lot. I got pretty good, and the art teachers were like super into it. And I said no because, frankly, it's not something I wanted for my career. And then I went and took history because apparently that's something I did want for my career. Whatever. And I know I could do it again. You have a slight disability of your fine motor skills. I think I had something similar when I was young. I no longer do. But yeah, it's just... One thing I will say, and if I decide to start, like, drawing seriously, this is what I do. If you want to draw, there is a book for you. In fact, there is the book for you. It's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. And it is the book that teaches you how to draw.
Here we go.
And Niv, you are making it happen. Your art's great. Yeah, you see, we didn't actually learn anything in art class, Copper. It was just draw, and we eventually got it. Well, some of us. Anyway, let's topple this motherfucker.
We're counting on you. Leave it to me. Fiora, your turn.
Okay. My turn.
We are at one with the battlefield.
I mean, I know I confuse popularity with skill, especially on Twitch.
The power of the Monado.
It's wonderful to be with everyone.
So you'll notice this is the unique monster we fought very recently. Yeah, unique monsters respawn after a while. Something Xenoblade Chronicles 2 I feel handles better.
Good job, everyone. I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Ooh, we got another book there and I didn't even see which one it was. Ooh, Cure Bullet for Charla? I don't think we use Cure Bullet, but it's good to have. But yeah, if you want to get into drawing on the right side of the brain is an incredible book, and especially if you're like me and you're very analytical, it's very good for that because it explains drawing in analytical terms. It explains how to do it.
Yes?
So you've done it. Now we can leave the village in safety. We Machina will never forget what you've done for us. Oof, Copper, that sucks. That also sucks, Kuko.
I can feel the power.
It's fun how schools really don't care about people with disabilities. Of any kind.
Hi.
Hey there, got a second? I need to tell you something. It's my mum and dad. They won't stop fighting. I hate it when they fight, and they do it all the time. So if they won't stop it, I'm gonna find a way to make them stop. Oh, you sweet summer child. But I need your help. Okay, here's the deal. They're fighting because their precious keepsake broke. So I figured the best way to stop them fighting is to fix it. Fix the keepsake and everything will go back to normal. Oh, you sweetheart. The thing is, I don't know what it was made of, so I can't get the materials I need to fix it. That seems like the appropriate solution, Luca. I don't want to go anywhere near my mum and dad right now. So you have to go talk to them about the keepsake. Okay, we'll go talk to them and sort it out for you. I don't really know anything about parents arguing, but okay. You know, on account of how my parents are dead. And the closest thing I had to a father is Dixon, and Dixon is a dick, so you know. Good. A family shouldn't argue as much as we do. It's not right. I agree. Someone needs to talk to your parents about the keepsake. Could you talk to my mom and dad about it? So yeah. This is another quest. Again, I'm not going to finish this. There was just that one big quest that I wanted to finish. Simply because it gives you something very useful. I feel like other than the 3 Rs, all classes should be optional. Give me my thing.
Welcome.
This is the second time you've saved the village. I'll not forget that. Now the village truly is safe. Yeah, the 3 Rs, Juice. Oh, Juice, you're about to learn one of my favorite things. This is not something I made up. This is a term that is like widely used by anthropologists, by social studies people, like a wide range of people use the term the 3 Rs to refer to the basics of kind of how humans interact intellectually with the world, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those are called the 3 Rs, and it's fucking amazing. No, I disagree, Niv. Maths is crucial because just understanding how numbers work is important. Yes, Juice. It makes me so happy. However, I think once you get to like 8th or 9th grade, I think from that point on, pretty much everything should be optional. Because at that point, except for language. I still feel like language is important, and the more language you can learn, the more languages you can learn, the better. So yes, she found some records relating to the Monado. Since the Monado is so important to you, I'm sure it will be useful. No, I agree, Niv. That's why I said the 3 Rs. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. If you know how to do arithmetic, I would say more than just basic. I would say advanced arithmetic. But honestly, nobody needs calculus unless you are studying maths. Yes, I think philosophy and ethics should be mandatory. So, this gives me the armor record. What is the armor record? It teaches Shulk a new Monado art. Yeah, the 5 or 6, the 5 we have so far, these are not all the Monado arts in the game. These are all the ones that you are guaranteed to get. But Monado armor is one of the best. It reduces both physical and ether damage by 30% for 15 seconds. It is across the entire party. Monado armor is what Monado speed wishes it was. And I'm immediately going to upgrade it as much as I can. Because against several unique monsters that are coming up, Monado armor, which now decreases damage by 55%, is just incredible. Anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff we can do, but I would like to continue with the game. Shulk is not OP now. Shulk has been, to some extent, OP for a while. But Shulk now has one of the best defensive arts in the entire game. And this is possibly my favorite area music. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit because I want people to hear it. It's coming! It's coming! God, I love this truck. This track also does things to my synesthesia brain. Okay. Volume back down to a more reasonable level. Similar thing happened to me, Zach. Differential equations are impossible until you get the hang of them, and then they're so fucking easy. This is also one of my favorite areas because of that. As vertical as this game is, single areas tend not to go up that much. This just keeps going up. And it ends up being something so different to everywhere else. Anyway, so I've mentioned before that I have synesthesia, where basically, in my case, music causes other senses to trigger. So typically what I find is that music has color. Music also has texture. This is a song that does something I've never known any other song to do, which is it gives me a sense of distance, which is really odd. We were asked to get these memory pieces, and we found one of them. Also, who wants to take a dip in the purple liquid? I'm pretty sure it won't instantly murder us. Oh god, it's going to instantly murder us. That's fine. It's not fine! For anyone who's curious,
Hang in there. Just a little
this
longer.
is officially a coolant that the Mechon uses.
I don't feel so good.
Oh yeah, synesthesia is amazing, Josh. It is not well understood, and it's very, very difficult to study. If anyone's curious, Gummy is currently between my arms, with his paws against my chest, looking into my eyes, because he is a very good boy. Mwah. I give kiss. I did that for you, Copper, not for him. Because Gummy fucking hates being kissed. I mean, I do it all the time. He just hates it. Anyway, one fun fact about doing all of those side quests is that we're slightly over-leveled for this area. Which I don't mind.
Everyone, let's go!
I'm gonna go all out.
What it means is that I can use whatever team I want, and it's not really an issue.
Yeah, done that. How good backslash! Come on, we can do it! Don't let your tail flag!
Yeah, he's purring.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
He,
Not bad.
he doesn't get angry when I kiss him. He'll just get a little bit grumpy. Also, a lot of this area feels like it wasn't built for people to move along. And I find that a very interesting bit of design. Ooh. I haven't, Kuko. I'm always fascinated by speedruns of games like this. Simply because, like, this is not a criticism. This is a heavily linear game. So I'm always curious, but I've never seen the speedrun. I would be interested to see They use Rhyme in Tephra Cave to kite an enemy and block bounce to a late game. Oh, so they glitch their way. That's amazing. That's so cool. Because, yeah, Tephra Cave is an area we will be revisiting later in the game. And yeah, there are some pretty late game enemies there. That's so interesting. I know Mithra from the Neighborhood Watch was heavily involved in. She's done several Xenoblade 2 speedruns, and she's very, very good at it. Josh, it's very possible that that no longer exists in the definitive edition, but I don't believe it was really realistic to patch Wii games. So I doubt the Wii version ever got patched. I love that line from Dunbar. Focus on this moment. Because that's very much his style. You don't need to worry about what comes after this. We do this. Yeah, I would have figured, Kuko. Because, like, if you can do New Game Plus, then you don't need to grind. That's almost the point. And then it's just a matter of how efficiently you can move around the world. Fun fact, there is no 100% speedrun for Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Well, you're basically like our baby brother.
What? Baby brother?
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh my god. Fiora just called Shulk her baby brother? Which is really weird, given that they kissed. So there's the... That was the elevator that goes up. Does this elevator go down? There's actually, apparently there is one Blade who is the primary reason. By the way, if you don't know what Xenoblade Chronicles... If you've never played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, all of this is going to be... No, Stitch, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, so this is here in case you fall into the coolant and manage to make your way back here. There is nothing to do down here. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 has no 100%. I would guess that part of that is because that would include things like... what's it called? Things like Colony 6, which does have a random element to it. But yeah, apparently for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for those who know, it is the blade that has stopped people even attempting it is Ursula. Because her blade quest takes so long to do. It also has, yeah, it also has the gacha element, because 100% playthrough would require Cosmos, if nothing else.
What's up, Shulk?
Look, it's a switch to activate a lift. If we can get it to work, it should take us up.
Yes, yes, that's how elevators work.
We can't. There's no power going to it.
How do you know that, sir?
What do we do?
Well, if we could find the main power supply...
Okay, people, let's get looking.
Yeah. If we can connect the power to
Ooh,
the switch,
nice, Kuko.
we should be able to use the lift.
Did you manage to get an estimate on how long that would take? Use the girlfriend master power panel to start the second lift. I think that's actually meant to be ground floor, but whenever I see that, I always interpret that as girlfriend. Which is going to be super awkward if and when I play Final Fantasy VIII. Oof, Kuko. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun time, I'm just gonna admit it. I love Monhan, but that doesn't sound like a fun time. Look at that fucker down there. Just vibing. It's fixed. That was difficult. Cheem, hello! That makes me curious, Kuko. What is the longest speedrun? Europa Universalis for all achievements. God. See, that's the kind of game I wouldn't even consider speedrunning. I'm not sure I would consider running it. Speaking of speedrunning, for those of you who saw... Oh my god. The Factorio speedrun at GDQ this year is probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So, we have to connect the power plug again. But this time it's a little bit more complicated. And it would be difficult if I hadn't managed to grind up several levels. GeoGuessr is such an odd category for GDQ. Like, I'm glad it's there, but it's such a weird category.
Right, let's do this.
I'm gonna go all out.
Don't hold back. Gale Slash. Unity is vital to a superior team, Fiora.
You'll want to help me out here? Thank you.
Everyone, let's go. Here we go.
Start as Austria and push hard to get all the reforms done. That's pretty cool, Kuko.
Here I come. Soaring. Fiora.
Alrighty. Just a little more.
Ooh. God, Fiora's sword drones is fun. It just looks so good.
With the battlefield. Feel the flow.
It was completely unnecessary to use Monado Buster there. But it felt good, and therefore was the right decision.
Okay, start off this guys. Let's do it. I feel
That's really not too long, Kuko. Ooh, Cheem. I won't be able to show it on stream because my browser capture has been a bit weird lately. But I will definitely take a look at that. And so should everybody else.
But we mustn't be careless.
A couple of potentially useful weapons. And items. It blows my mind when people manage to do these crazy short speedruns. Although I was watching a video the other day about low percent speedruns, which is literally finish it and get pop, such good pop, which is basically get the minimum possible. Oh, Cam, Thank you for sharing puppy pictures. Is that your office chair? Or someone's office chair, I assume? Anyway, so I was talking about a Twilight Princess speedrun. And Twilight Princess has a really weird technique where if Link is holding an item, he will slowly, very slowly, shimmy backwards by like 1 frame. And if you do it right, you can glitch through walls. So there is a speedrun that uses that and ends up, in total, staring at a blue rupee for 17 hours. It's certainly a thing that somebody did. Why did I do that? Chat, I don't know why I did that thing I just did. Wait, if... I thought one of the requirements of most speedruns is that you win the game. If you're allowed to lose, then every fucking speedrun is going to be like 30 seconds.
We're counting on you. Here I come. Fiora, your turn.
Alrighty!
We move at the same pace. Yeah, Dunban.
That was great, guys!
We did it.
It's so weird, Kuko. Winston's a good name for a puppy. I feel like there's something down... There's certainly something down here. Is the something down here worth exploring? It got me a juicy steak plant, which is... odd. Aww. That's super cute, Ken. Thanks for sharing. Also, Boston Terriers are very good pups. Not that there's such a thing as a bad pup, but you know what I mean. That's so bonkers. Like, I don't want to be the one who tells people how to play their games, but I almost feel like that's a category that should be banned. Like, that doesn't count. That's not winning. I mean, I suppose it's an any percent speedrun. It's just weird. I wanted this to take me up. Which means I went the wrong way. Has no real end goals. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. So wherever I went, that's where the other lift is. I went the wrong way. When you said Iron Man, it made me realize that since I started streaming, I've been wanting to stream XCOM, and I just haven't found a good spot for it. And it makes me sad, because I really want to stream XCOM. Hollow Knight speedruns and speedrunners are just always entertaining.
Don't give up.
I've never actually seen a Hollow Knight speedrun. Anything useful around here? Yes, I thought one of these might be here. Another one of those memory pieces. Oh, I never saw that. That's the entrance we came through, but from this angle, all you can see is the blue of the sea beyond it. And it looks so cool. I saw the video you posted. I did not watch it yet. I'll check it out, Kuko. I really, really, really wanted to try a... What's the game called now? A Hyper Light Drifter speedrun. And I practiced for a while. And I'm just not good enough at the game. I could keep practicing. But it was so disheartening. I'm just not good enough at that game to actually do... I'm not good enough to confidently do a non-speedrun on stream. Oh! You know, when I think of elevator, that's not the thing in my brain. That's bonkers, Kuko. I know you're very into skips and things in Legend of Zelda as well. Specifically Zelda 3. Yeah, honestly, I was getting pretty good at the first area of Hyper Light Drifter. I could go from starting the game to first boss in about 13 minutes. But I just couldn't beat that boss. And, I mean, I've beaten it before. I've beaten the game more than once. But something about the mentality of you're doing this as a speedrun just fucked me up. Ooh, Destroyer Salvation. Good name, good look. You don't go out of bounds, but you skip the whole track. Now, I know they're not, but those sound like two separate statements. It sounds like they cannot both be true. I know they are, because stuff gets weird. But look how cool this place is. Sorry, I just wanted to draw attention to that again. You've got these massive gears spinning to power the Mechanis. And just this enormous central shaft. This is one fucking leg. Oh, it really is copper. I hadn't considered how much. But yes, this is just the made for copper area. If it makes you feel better, the next area will be, I think, slightly more so.
We can't lose.
Leave this fight to me.
Don't hold back. Do the flash.
I really like our vibe.
Unity is vital to a superior team, Fiora. Fiora!
There we go. One down.
Here we go!
That's so cool, Kuko.
Split edge! Come back! Here I come!
I mean, just because I'm bad at speedruns doesn't mean I don't love hearing about them. Because I love hearing about
We're
them.
not finished.
Got it!
This is entirely unnecessary. But I wanted to get a ×4 Monado Buster.
Not bad.
We were amazing.
Stay cute, Luca. Have good sleep. Is there anything along here, or is this just another skip a couple of enemies? There are all these walkways that are designed to skip enemies, and I almost always discover them after I've passed all the enemies. That's absurd, Kuko. Yeah, as I said, I love Hyper Light Drifter. I'm not particularly good at it, but I consider it one of my favorite games ever. And I thought, you know, it's a very speed-runnable game. But I just can't. As I said, the unfortunate thing is, I'm just not good enough. I would need to practice a lot, and I did practice a lot. But even that just wasn't getting me where I needed to be. Anyway, big old tentacle monster, and yet this is not a hentai. Okay. I doubt this guy can be toppled. So let's just go for all reds. Remembering that talent arcs, which are white, count as every color, or any color. So they're a good way to transition between if you need to. Ah, I was hoping to get a ×4 buster.
We can definitely do this.
So, I think it's okay for games to have speedrun achievements. It can just be a bit problematic, because especially if you're trying to go for like platinum or whatever, it can fuck up certain people. Okay, that's a lot of damage. However, a shield should make... Oh, 1 damage. Oh. Oh no. That hurt me so much. Fuck it. Should be able to finish it with this chain attack, or nearly at least. There we go. Lovely. And Fiora learns a new art. Who are we even fighting now? Who's being targeted? Him. I think if you're going to have speedrunner achievements, yes, that's the way to do it. They should be at the level where any good player will be able to achieve it. You don't need to be perfect. Oh, this dude's got a topple spike? I'm amazed. Oh god. Fiora might actually die. So, Monado armor. Just to make everybody a little bit stronger. And because I've got it, so why wouldn't I use it?
Let's keep going.
Let's press on.
Shovel Knight, I've never come close to speedrunning because I am, like, I adore that game. I am so bad at it. Ooh, Machina Rifle 2 and Shade Glasses. That's the first equipment I actually want to immediately check out. The Machina Rifle 2 is way more powerful. Comes with HP up 4 and Ether up 3. She's already got Ether up 3. So this is just a massive improvement. And the Shade Glasses give Agility up 5. Which is exactly what Dunban needs. They improve his physical and ether defense. They weigh less, and they improve his agility. Dreamlike glasses, which render viewed clothing slightly transparent. Oh. Oh. That's... God, Kuko, that's amazing. I've never been able to pull something like that off. How does he look in glasses? Oh, they suit him so well. Yes, Dunban is wearing glasses. Fiora learned... I think Power Drain was her new technique. Creates a special field that absorbs strength. So it reduces target strength and increases Fiora's strength. For every extra enemy, it increases her strength by an extra 5%. This is actually solid. I would rather have this over Ether Drain. Correct, Josh and Copper. Yeah, Kuko. I have that with not Shovel Knight, Hyperlight Drifter. I put in an hour every night for 2 weeks.
Good luck, everyone.
And I was still really struggling. And at that point I decided it was just not the right time for me. I was getting increasingly frustrated and enjoying myself. I got an achievement there called Honest Insight. I don't know what that does.
We did it!
You know, I've realized I have no idea where I'm going because I just like exploring this area. Yeah, kind of same thing happened to me, Kuko. I wasn't enjoying one of my favorite games. That was a good indication that maybe it was time to lay off a little bit. Sure, Copper. I had pizza for dinner, but I could have... Ooh, a chicken burger would be nice. Shovel Knight does have that good music. That's fine, Copper. Maybe next time. Also, thank you for not arguing with me over whether it's a beef burger or a beef sandwich, because it's a fucking beef burger. Did I just come to the wrong place?
Hang in there. Just a little longer.
Oh, no. You're completely right, Copper. I forgot you are gluten intolerant. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is a weird game. there nobody around here? I thought there was somebody around here. Fun until close to the end. What happens towards the end? Because I know Final Fantasy III, not even speedruns. Final Fantasy III is great until near the end. And then you've got the whole final boss area, and it's shitty. Floor 2, Pazuzu, which is pure RNG. And floor 2 loses 12 minutes to floor 6. I remember Pazuzu in Final Fantasy III. He was real dumb. Release the bulkhead to get outside and continue your journey to the upper levels of Mikana's Field. Look at it, it's so cool. It's so big. Oof, Kuko, that is rough. Honestly, I know why games have them, especially older games, but God, I hate anything that can cause instant death. I'm glad the game tells me it's nighttime, because I have no way to determine that for myself. It is just constant artificial lighting here. I feel like there's something around here. Nope. Nothing useful, at least. You know what? Even if they're dodgeable, I still hate instant death attacks. I will make a slight exception for something that happens later in this game. And, I mean, we'll get to that. Oh, are we getting to that soon? Just look at this. Ooh, I got a vision of an item that we'll need. That's the second retro diode. Man, I can't wait to see the looks on the faces of Colony 6. Okay, Colony 6 needs 2 retro diodes. Yeet! That was completely unnecessary, but I had fun. Ooh, sir, you are large and in charge. I would like to change both of those facts.
Good luck, everyone.
Make it a swift victory. Your flash.
1, 2.
We can definitely do this. Okay, guys. Now we're putting together.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, I thought you were going to be quite tough. And instead, the 2 levels I have on you mean that you are nothing.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Let's press on.
The closest I've come to actually, like, seriously doing speedrun stuff is the Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda randos I've been doing. But I'm not actually making any effort to speedrun those, because I never do anything less than like 90% of items, because I'm really bad at fighting the bosses. Especially Ganon. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is just a terrible game. I played it when I was a kid. I never finished it because it's a terrible game. Look at them big old spinny wheels. Oh. I know this is entirely Copper's aesthetic, but I sometimes forget how much it's my aesthetic as well. I don't want everything to look like this, but I have a place in my heart for this. And the size is part of what does it for me. We're just fucking insects crawling around the inside of the Mikados. Everything is. Because in all practical terms, it's a god. That's a good question, Copper. Especially if you define the speedrun as just like end of story. Okay, there was nothing fun down there, but I thought I would check. Oh. That's the place I just was. Cool, I went entirely the wrong way across that bridge. That's fine. Yeah, all village quests would probably be a good way to define at least a certain kind of speedrun.
We've definitely got.
Ooh. Bozotrox needs 2 reinforced jets to make the boots. That's 2 of them. We better get them back to her. Now that's where we need to get. I don't want to fight you. You are weak and a baby.
One, two,
Everyone, feel the flow in the back. Let's press on.
let's press on and on and on.
Do you like that these guys have, like, nicknames?
We can't lose.
I'm gonna go all out.
Make it a swift victory. Worldly. Stay focused.
I can do it. I know I can. Just a little more.
The time has come. Everyone, let's go.
And there's just a couple of enemies in here. None of them look particularly tough. Ooh, Amorous Arca.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Just the fact that you're a unique monster makes you interesting to me. How was that not a side-on attack? I love this game. Sometimes it confuses me. Okay, let's get a chain attack in. I'm just going to go for pure damage on this one.
We're counting on you. Here I come. Against the odds. We choose to fight. Blossom dance. Fiora.
God, Dunban, you're cool.
1, 2, 3.
Let's keep under pressure.
Eni, you're not done yet.
And a ×4 Buster,
Come on. We can do it. Keep it up. Here I come.
leaving it in the perfect position for Dunban to take it out with Soaring Tanks.
Time is coming. You cannot escape.
Alrighty. Double wind. Your history.
That went well.
That was great, guys.
Perfect.
Nice, Copper. What Samage?
And on.
Let's press on.
Borgar Samage? Yeah, burger buns can be very expensive. Ooh, I don't really use it, but that's nice from Melia. I was using Melia a lot during the grinding between streams. God, I love her. She's genuinely, I think, my favorite character to play as. I stick with Shulk for several reasons, but I love Melia. Anyway, you see over there those conveyor belts? We ran along them before. Copper, this is just for you. What? What do you mean it won't activate? Oh, I've got to do a thing down here first. Fine. I think that also activated that, which is a useful way down. But I don't want down. I want to show cool thing. Okay. I will show cool thing after I fight Big Robot.
Time is now. Alright, I'm feeling it.
I just feel like it'll be very much your aesthetic.
Alright, time for a chain of Split edge! Come back! Leave it to me! Born in a world of strife! Against the odds! We choose to fight! Blossom dance!
Oh, ho.
Fiora.
Oh, Blossom Dance is so good.
This is how we do it.
Ho ho. Zat said he wanted to make a gun that's just right for him. He said he needed 2 reinforced thrusters, didn't he? We should take them to him. Again, just a little hint of the future quest. Hello, Lizard! You've arrived just in time to see Thing. So good! fucking love that. Just the absurd size of it. Gummy, please, not on my keyboard. You can sleep anywhere in this fucking house. Why does it have to be on my keyboard? Also, I just want to check if this lift goes up or down. I feel like it goes down. If any of you have watched Barry's latest highlights video, at the end, it's got Gam's cat on keyboard, and it's fucking amazing. Also, very pleasing. Hi, Tom. You know what? I'm just gonna skip travel. Yeet yourself at the speed of sound, Shook. And we come outside at dawn to this incredible view. There is the Bionis. There is the only home we have ever known. There is the fallen arm, cut from the Mechanis, several thousand years ago. There is the narrow passage we took to get here. And there is Mechanis. We are currently ascending its leg. Anyway, I'm curious. I wonder if gravity works the same way here as it works on Bionis. Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you, Lizard. So at the moment, Tom, we have been requested by the leader of the Machina to hunt down and kill Egil, who is apparently the leader of Mechanis. He is the one who is sending the Mechon to kill people on Bionis. And even the machine people want him to stop. So that's what we're doing. We are seeking Egil. It's so cool. I fucking love the scale of this world. And heck, we found some more cute machine people.
Hi there.
I never expected to see any hums all the way up here. You don't look hostile to me. If you want to go up higher, just ride this ventilation duct here. It will carry you up. Sir, that seems monumentally unsafe. Well, I wasn't wrong. I've mentioned that it's something I like in other areas of the game. Again, I just adore the fact that we have a very strong sense at the moment of where progress is. Ooh. Progress is up. This is the Great Battle Scar. This is where the Monado, in ages past, wielded by the Bionis, cut into the Mechanis. This is where the arm came from, as far as I can tell. So that is something that is brought up earlier, Tom. The shape and size of the Monado suits the wielder. So, in the hands of the Bionis, it is a Titan-slaying sword. In the hands of Shulk, it's big enough for Shulk. It's pretty big still, but... See those platforms there? Got another memory piece. Huko, don't reveal the secrets. Let the Monado keep its dignity. I feel like I missed something there, interestingly. Well, no, Tom, because also most people can't wield the Monado. It chooses its wielder. In the long ago, it was wielded by a giant named Zanza. Then it was wielded by Dunban, but even Dunban struggled to wield it. And now it is wielded by Shulk, who does so effortlessly. It is a very picky sword. I feel like I've missed something, but if I have... Oh, I nearly fell a long way. Yeet. Nope. This is the thing I thought I missed. I was wrong. You know what? You're not 100% wrong, Kuko. By the way, those of you who are very observant may find it weird that that's the fallen arm, but then also, how come the Mechanis has two arms? Because there's one arm holding the sword, and there's one arm not. This arm was rebuilt. The arm you're looking at was not originally part of the Mechanis. That is its original arm. This was rebuilt. By Egil, of all people. The man we're going to kill. Over here is... You know, that's not a question I've really asked as often as I should, Copper. Is this not where I thought it was? Wow, Tom. You sure know how to ask pertinent questions. Shit! Oh, I fell a very long way. But no, Tom. It's not moving anytime soon. It's mostly a matter of... The Mechonis is essentially a god. And so they... Egil especially does his best to take care of it. There's an important place I want to get to. And I was nearly there when I yeeted myself into oblivion. Kind of, yes. Some things you build for their own sake. Also, frankly, how is he going to make giant continent-sized margaritas without 2 hands? So, you know, important things. You can slow down a lot by trying to run uphill. Is it dumb? Yes. Does it work? Also yes. And we discover the Machina Refuge. There are a handful of Machina, not at the village, but here to keep an eye on the movements of the mecha.
What do you need?
We're here to observe the Mechon and keep the village safe. It's a worthwhile job. I can spot even the slightest movements. Even so, I'm still just watching, and not able to destroy them. Sorry to ask, but could you destroy some Mechon for me? Again, fairly standard kill a bunch of enemies quests. He said something there which I skipped over. He said, may Lady Mayneth protect you. Which is a name we've heard once or twice before. Copper, double up on those burgers. And a unique monster killing quest, that's fine. Again, may Lady Mayneth protect you. No! That's the thing, Kuko. The Mechon are weapons. Even the Machina hate them. Fire Ether is great because that gives you... that lets you get strength up. And this is Bozotrox, who we've heard of before. Her boyfriend asked us to give her a gift.
Me.
A present from Zarkort? What could it be? Wow, it's beautiful. Is it a tear of the sky? I can't believe it. I'll treasure it always. But how did he get it? There's no way he could go to distant fingertip. And Chuk just doesn't answer. Never mind, it's the thought that's important. Could you thank him for me and tell him I can't go back yet? The Mechon have been more active lately, so I can't leave. Yes, Lizard! Make them paninis. And she has a follow-up quest. I really want to thank you. You came all the way here to find me and bring Zarkort's present. What to do? I want to make you a pair of my special boots. But I might have to give up on that idea. I've just made a pair for Zarkort. I used up all the materials I had with me. And I can't leave here to go find more. All I need are reinforced jets and reinforced plungers. Which I have, apparently. I guarantee you're gonna love the boots.
like me.
That was easy. Have you got the materials? Great, can you hold on a bit? They'll be ready soon. Josh Kuko. All done. They should be a perfect fit for apparently any of the 7 of you. That's how it works. I hope they'll come in useful. I'm going back to the village soon. I'll get a replacement, so I'll probably be working down there. I can't wait to see Zarkor. It's been a while since we last met. That gives you M100 Greaves, as well as Quick Step 5. Quick Step is an interesting gem. It has no in-battle use. It just speeds up how quickly you move around the world. And is genuinely very useful. This game can be quite slow. M100 Greaves, these are heavy. Ooh, look at that. Look how much they improve Himbo's defense. Ooh. And we can get him physical protect. That's exactly what he needs. I have really not been focusing on Rhine. They're just so good. Okay, this is not as good for Ether defense, but... Look at him with his dumbass helmet. God, I love Rhine so much. Because Rhine is a himbo. He still hasn't figured out how shirts work.
Yes.
Literally, my entire reason is because he's a himbo. Okay. Now we can get more weapons for people. Like the Omega Break for Fiora, which increases her HP by 20%, and every time she uses an art, she heals by 40. Why is this all so good? And the Machina Blade, which comes with haste and aggro 3. Oh, these are all so good. A lot of this is for Fiora. So I'm not worried about a lot of the gear, because Fiora's gear is a little bit weird. You're focused more on the gear type than the actual stats. Yes, Tom? Shit, Tom, you've missed a lot. Okay. So remember those Mechon with faces? Fiora was in one of them. They had Hum's pilots, who had been, like, brainwashed. She had no memories. And anyway, we managed to destroy the Mechon. We managed to save her, and her memories are back. But she's, like, part machine now. Oh god, Tom, you've missed so very much. Yeah, Fiora's back. It is one of the major twists of the game. It's one of my favorite story beats, because for the first half, a little bit more than half of the game, you're getting revenge for Fiora. And it's interesting to see how Shulk deals with not having that as a motivation anymore. It's interesting because it's halfway point in terms of time, but it's also very much the end of Act 2 twist. This game has a very lengthy... Wait, am I in the wrong place? This game has a pretty lengthy Act 3.
Whoa! Don't look down. Anyone know where we are? Other than high up.
Maybe somewhere around the thigh?
The thigh? You mean we ain't even halfway there yet?
Stop moaning about it. Look, we can make camp over there. Let's rest for a while.
And Shulk can keep teaching you how to put on a shirt.
Fiora, are you sure you're feeling okay?
I feel a bit like I haven't got used to this body yet. But please, whatever you do, don't tell Shulk about it. I'm sorry, Dunban.
Don't worry about it. Back when my arm was injured, it was you who took care of me.
I'd almost forgotten. It seems so long ago now.
Thanks,
Yes!
Ryan.
Use those muscles.
Doing a spot of maintenance?
Yeah. The sighting's been a bit off lately.
You know, Mikhail let us have some new parts. I could make you a new rifle if you want.
Thanks. But I want to keep using this one for now.
Yes, that's Ghetto's rifle.
Shulk, get a clue, man. It's more than just a weapon to her. She can't just throw it away and get a new one.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Ugh. If she let anything happen to it, I bet she'd get a whack from old Atharon.
Himbos can be dads. It's great, Kuko.
Doesn't my man ever rest?
Not a chance. The lives of everyone in the colony rely on the defense force. Our readiness and our will to keep on fighting.
We never know when the Mekon will strike next.
No. But I won't let anyone else die.
She really is, Lizard. Charlotte's very pretty. And especially in the remake, the graphics really set. Sir, you are shooting at scrap.
If only I had more power.
Stop it! Gaddo, it's not your fault!
We lost 30 men in Fortress 3 alone.
Listen to me. Nobody knew that so many Mekon would come. More people would have died if it wasn't for you.
It's not about reducing casualties. We lost 30 men. And we've lost the fortress. Those men died for nothing.
Would their deaths have meaning if we'd won?
Yes. At least they would have died for something. This is the end now. It's either the Mekon or us. I don't care if I'm the last man standing. I'll take them down!
Well, if it makes you feel better, you're not the last man standing. So, you know.
Hey, Ryan.
What is it?
Do you want to beat the Mechon?
Of course. What are you asking that for?
I know what
the
he's
cost?
doing, Copper.
Even if it means giving your own life?
Giving my own life? No way, I can't do anything if I'm dead. I'm gonna take down the Mechon and survive. And there's no way I'm gonna lose Shulk, Fiora, or you along the way. We're all gonna win this and get out alive.
If only we all thought like you.
What do you mean?
It's charming.
What?
Fuck Ricky. I think it's more like Ryan really has no attachment to Ricky.
We should get moving. We don't have time to hang around.
Ryan, did you rest well?
Yeah, I feel great.
It looks like we're about to re-enter the Mechonis. Brace yourselves.
Got it.
Untrue. His first meeting with Ricky was amazing. He played volleyball.
Dun, you okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Just my imagination.
Oh, just your imagination. Nah, you know better than that. Right, Copper? They work so well. You're right, Tom. It is a friend. A friend wants to give us a good surprise. That's why friend hid away. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think we were done with Up? Oh no. Oh no, there is more Up. God, look at those giant cooling fans. God, imagine the PC you could run on those. Oh! I just yeeted myself directly into a quest. But I'm gonna go back because I want these items. I'm so glad you're having fun, Copper. I was worried that nobody would like the aesthetic of this area, because it's kind of brassy colored, and there's a lot of kind of rust-looking shit. But the big gears are just so good. Someone asked me to kill, I think, 3 of these. Yes. I feel like Copperwing, who has gears as part of her motif, might just be into big old copper gears. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm super glad people are liking it. God, you're cool, Gundam.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I feel you on the expensive stuff. Hey, they wanted me to take out the this friend as well.
Everyone, let's go!
Little Robot B.
Leave this fight to me.
Tail flash! I won't let you go, Fiora. Use the chain attack.
Should we go for top? Yeah, let's go for top.
Okay, my turn. That was great, guys.
I'm so glad you're having fun, Copper.
I'm gonna go all out. One, two, three.
Feel the flow of battle.
I will, Dumban.
This guy is tough. He's not doing a ton of damage to us, but he can take a beating.
Okay, my turn. You're not done yet.
And yo, fuck it. Monado Buster, times 4.
That's right, Dumban.
Not bad. We are at one with the battlefield.
Level 60. The strongest enemy we've met down here.
I won't let you go, Fiora.
I do find it... But one thing I really like about this game is every character genuinely has a very, very different fighting style. Not just different moves. Like, Shulk is all about positional attacks. Attacking from the side or from behind. Whereas my favorite character, Melia, doesn't have that at all.
Timing is everything. Remember that.
She is much more focused on buffs, damage over time, and a little bit of DPS. I say a little bit of DPS. I think she's got the most powerful single DPS attack in the game. No, that's definitely wrong. But she does have very powerful DPS. But her style is really buffing and damage over time. Yeah, Dunban and Ryan want to get up close. They don't care if they're in the right position. They would just very much like to hit things, please.
Let's do this. Make it a swift victory.
And they both have attacks which I think are kind of unique to them, that attack in a circle. Meaning, if you're in a whole group, they're just going to rip through things. Ricky, as in most things, is probably the most difficult to describe. He's just got such a weird moveset, which I've grown to love over time. But it's weird. Let's get that up.
That's right, Dumban.
How do you like that? Just like old times.
Okay. We gotta switch on a power thing down here, and then there's another power thing. And Shulk continues to have the strongest wrists in the world. Because he can grab on from any foe and take no damage. It's fantastic. By the way, depending on how things go, today's stream may end up going a little bit later than usual, because there is a particular story point I would like to reach. Actually, I want to see. Can I just... No, there's no skip travel point there. Yeah, so climbing's going to be my best option. And those who know the game know the point I'm talking about. It's very important, and it's rad as fuck. Correct, Kuko. Ryan and Dunban are very good at managing aggro. Which is actually something interesting I was thinking about. So when I played Chrono Trigger, I described a couple of characters as being tanks. And throughout the game, something about that was niggling me. And what it is, if you look at someone like, I think the example I used was Robo, who I called Fisto, because it's a fantastic name. You look at someone like Fisto. He's got high HP, which, you know, would normally characterize a tank. High HP, not particularly high speed, pretty good attack. The reason he doesn't feel like a tank is because Chrono Trigger has no active aggro management. I'm not sure it has aggro in any capacity. And so tanks in the traditional sense don't really tank in Chrono Trigger. Just focus on these guys. Kill one dude at a time, Kiara. It is always like this, Fiora. Don't be mean. Right, Kuko. In Chrono Trigger, there are, what, 4 characters who have some kind of healing capability. There is no dedicated healer in Chrono Trigger. The closest is maybe Marl. She's certainly the first healer you get. But again, she's almost more of a rogue type. Chrono Trigger doesn't have a dedicated healer. This game has one dedicated healer and only two other characters with any kind of healing. Which is fine, because as much as I generally keep Charla around, healing is frequently unnecessary. Shulk has light heal, which will frequently do the trick.
We can't lose. Make it a swift victory.
I'm gonna go
But it is a weird thing to be missing from, like, I don't know if it's the right word, but I suppose the meta. I'm gonna purge you, fucker. Yeah, look. Charlotte does have a lot of buffs and debuffs going on. But at least the way I set her up with basically full healing.
We're counting on you. Leave it to me. Time is now. Fiora, your turn.
My turn. Come on. We're not finished.
Leave it to me.
Okay. That dude was only scary because of that fucking spike.
I'm feeling it.
And it was a mean-ass spike.
We can definitely do this. Good call.
It's over.
Press on.
Yes! Speaking of Charla. Heal Bullet can now be upgraded to level 10. It's not her best. Heal Blast and Heal Round are better. But Heal Bullet is such a good thing to have on your side. Especially because its cooldown is much shorter than the others. And it doesn't fill the talent gauge much. She's got a ton of AP. I'm just going to pour that into this. Come, friend. Let me use bullets to make you better. Also, someone got things on their skill tree. Ooh! Shulk has finished his skill tree. Ultimate Teamwork increases chain attack damage. Dunban is closing in on that. Improves the physical and ether defense of light equipment, which is great because light equipment also works very well for Dunban's agility-focused gameplay. Fiora has got Opening Blow, which increases the damage of the first strike of a battle, and Nimble Feet, which increases movement speed. It reduces physical damage taken, increases damage of critical hits, or reduces ether damage. I'm going to go with physical for now. Melia has got Enlightenment, which increases the accuracy of ether attacks. Super important, especially if you want to take on higher level enemies with Melia. Oh, Agility Tank is my favorite concept. It's just oops all dodge. And finally, Charla can wear heavy equipment, which I very rarely have her do, but it's useful. I got the achievement there, Perfecting the Art. I got that because I improved an art to level 10, which was Charla's Heal Bullet. Well, I have to take out one more trick, and I'm here, so there's literally no reason not to.
This should be easy.
Here we go. That was... Because I started the chain attack before that attack got blocked, just that clunk sound was so funny.
My turn. We can do it.
We move at the same pace. Yeah, Dunban.
We did it!
Perfect.
There we go. You can now use the high velocity lift panel to connect the power plug. You know what? Good, Copper. I'm glad you had self-control. But also, have sleep. I mean, or don't. That's way down below me. I thought it was here. This door is glowing red, so it probably doesn't open, but it looks so cool. Ooh, lizard. That is just... that has been a mood for me lately. partly thanks to burnout, and partly thanks to depression. And yes, I recognize that there is no sharp line between those two. I've been getting sleepy real early in the day. Also, Kuko, go to sleep, you mad lad. Copper, I'm still worried about what your ADHD meds do to you. Like, I recognize you need them, but also, you need to eat. Have you spoken to your doctor about those side effects? Like, I'm in the fun position that I'm pretty sure I have atypical ADHD, so I literally cannot get diagnosed for it, and I don't think any medication would help, but I have so many of the, like, secondary symptoms. Okay, Kuko, I don't blame you then. Oh, Lizard, I'm sorry. I hope you find a place. Yeah, but Copper, speak to your doctor, because there may be meds that, like, still allow you to like, eat. By the way, who wants to start a mob so we can go to Kuko's house and beat up her neighbors? Who's on board with that plan? Hey, y'all fuckers weren't here before.
Everyone, let's go!
I'm gonna go all out.
Leave this for me. Time is Let's focus our efforts. Understood. Looking good too, Fiora. Take this.
Aww. That was really cute.
Fiora.
I'm gonna go all out.
Fiora said she's feeling good, and Shulk said she's looking good too. Tried another other medication. One caused you to act badly. Another acted just like blood pressure medication, and yet another was worse than your current meds. Oh, okay. So you have spoken to your doctor, and you're currently in the best of a bad situation. I'm only slightly over level, but even being slightly over level means I barely have to use any strategy to beat these guys. Only unique monsters and bosses pose much of a threat.
Okay, my turn. We did it!
Just like old times. It's over.
Let's press on and on and on.
I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
Okay, door is now green. Yes, this is it. Important story beat coming, if I am correct. God, I'd forgotten how cool this area looks. I don't think there's anything in these alcoves. I think they're just here to be rad. Or, more realistically, they're here as part of world building. This elevator platform is central. There are 4 ways into this room. We cannot explore the rest of them. Yes, that is correct, Kuko. Yeah, level makes kind of all the difference in this game. Yeah, it was tough for me, Copper. It was tough for me to find a place in Ottawa. And Ottawa is not like super high demand. I love it when you're going up on an elevator and Shulk does stumpy jumps. Yeah, agility is the main thing because it just slashes your accuracy. Yes, Shulk. Do teeny jumps. Copper, remember how there was that door earlier and I thought you'd really like it? Well, prepare for the other door I think you'll really like. Tell me that wasn't incredibly satisfying. Anyway, I'm gonna switch up my party. I actually definitely want Charla in an upcoming moment. And I think I'm actually gonna bring in Ryan as well. Which will make me finally look at his equipment. Okay, so, Shulk, why have I had you on the wrong stuff? Taurus Helm is probably the best for him. Agrius Plate is amazing. Wrong Bottoms are actually pretty solid, but I think I'm going to give him the Lord Leggings. 9,927 HP. Got the Machina rifle. We also got the Machina cannon, but it's less powerful. Okay. Everybody is reasonably well set up. I wish Ryan had upgraded more of his arts. Because he's actually weirdly under-leveled on that front. And it's not like I don't have the AP for it. I just haven't found the art books for it. Which sucks. I mean, Lizard, I could potentially... Oh my god. I just have to address something. That achievement name. That achievement was called Truly Outrageous. Does anybody know why it was called Truly Outrageous? Because I do, and it is amazing. That is exactly accurate, Lizard. You get that for having a gem in every slot for a particular character. I'm trying to see where if I can find it, and I'm struggling to. But yeah. It is a gem reference of all things.
That's what I'm talking about.
Are you okay?
She looks very tired. Should she not get some rest?
Thank you. But really, I'm okay.
No. We'll find a safe place to rest. We've hardly stopped since we left the village.
Ricky tired too. Ricky tummy rumble.
I'm with you. Time to park our...
Get down!
A Mechon assault! Can anyone see them?
Another vision. Nice one, Shock.
No, it wasn't.
Sure?
That's interesting. Shulk did not have a vision,
You did well to evade me.
but still
That's
predicted
what you'd
something.
expect from he who wields the Monado.
That voice?
It's a faced Mechon.
Is there someone inside?
What do we do, Shock?
We fight. But don't kill him.
Thought you might say that.
That voice is very recognizable. This is one of the weirder fights.
I'm afraid you must be exterminated.
We just can't even get to him. But he uses linear laser 4, which does a huge amount of damage. But it is, as the name suggests, linear. And so if you can block his line of sight, the attack will not damage. There are also other dudes along the way who you can fight. Mostly just to get your... Whoops. Mostly just to get your chain attack gauge. Don't focus on Shulk.
We've almost got them.
It's getting hotter.
And he prepares linear laser again. And somehow hit me? And he's targeting Charlotte. No, Charlotte, don't get fucking shot. So the problem is, your team moves independently. Which means sometimes, even when you're hiding behind shit, they're not. It can be quite frustrating.
Don't worry about it.
But in fact, I'm going to ignore these guys. Because it's him I want to fight. Jade Face.
Let's focus our efforts. Behold the power of the Monado.
And Charla, raise your own tension since you lost quite a bit. Chain attack probably won't actually finish him, but it might topple and daze him.
I'm on it. Okay, perfect.
Shala!
Gado! It's you, isn't it? Please answer me! Let me see you!
And yes, as we thought, it was Gado. Her fiancé, who she thought was killed.
Gado! I knew you were alive!
Gado!
Is that Shala's boyfriend?
The destruction of the Monado. That is the will of Lord Egil.
Gado?
What do you mean, Lord? What's Egil done to you?
What's wrong, Gado? Why would you say that? Speak to me, Gado!
This world is in disarray. I must eliminate the cause of this disorder and restore the world to its original form. That is my duty. Nay, the will of the world. Now, the time has come. The time to restore order.
Gado! Stop! Gado!
Shala!
Oh? And what was that Fiora did? With them glowing red eyes. It certainly seems that way, Josh.
Lady Mayneth. It is not far off now. A world in which there is no need for fear. The hour draws near. Our will shall soon be done. First, there is the matter of the Monado. Our victory can only be assured if we destroy the Monado before it's too late. I sense your existence. I know you are alive. Zanza, the hour is upon us. Your time has come.
Even though we believed Zanza had died. Even though we saw Zanza die.
Shulk. Shulk.
Who's calling my name?
Shulk.
It's best,
You have acquired the ability to glimpse the future. The ability to understand the law of causality as decided by a higher power.
A higher power? Like the Bionis?
Why do you desire to change the future? Why do you wish to act against their will?
I do just as anyone would do. It is natural to want to change an unhappy future. If that is their will, then I choose to fight.
If that is what you wish, Shulk, then you must find your Monado.
My Monado?
Precisely. The one true Monado.
Now, isn't that interesting?
You can't do that. Because you aren't here. Not anymore.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
That was a close one. I mean, how on Bionis did we survive that? We seem all right.
I don't know. It could be that we were just lucky, but I'm sure there must be more to it than that.
You were protected by the power of Lady Mayneth.
Who's there?
It's Robot with boobles.
A machina.
Are you... Vanea?
Vanea? Does that mean you're Mikol's daughter?
I am glad you are safe. Lady Mayneth.
Lady Mayneth?
Ho ho. What intrigue is this?
That face was sent to destroy you. I am truly happy you're all right. You're lying. Gaddo would never try and hurt us. Sadly, his Hom's memories no longer remain. The current faces are nothing more than weapons, designed to annihilate all life on Bionis. It can't be. Faces are created by directly integrating the brainstem and metabolic organs of Homs into Mechon. Memories and emotion are nothing but a hindrance to an effective weapon. However, the early faces were experimental. Many retained memories from their former lives. This prevented them from executing their missions effectively. More recent faces have had all memories of their previous lives completely erased.
Is that because of me?
No, it is not your fault.
Mumkar seems the more likely candidate. His attachment to us was too strong. You could say it caused his destruction.
That sword one and all.
You are correct. No, it's not true. Oh, my Gaddo.
Sharla?
Explain it to me. I mean, why does Egil want to make us into Mechon? What's the reason for all this?
In order to counter the Monado.
I knew it.
The Monado is ineffective against the High-Entia, the Homs, against all races of Bionis. Egil suffered a bitter defeat in the battle 1 year ago. After that, he theorized that he could counter the Monado by integrating organic life from Bionis.
Of course. Initially, the Monado couldn't take a Hom's life.
It can now, though.
It could not harm those who share the blood of Zanza. That was its sole weakness. But Zanza lifted that constraint.
Those who share the blood of Zanza? Who is that giant?
The progenitor of the Homs.
Him?
And once the friend of my brother Egil, before they became sworn enemies. It was Zanza who devastated Mechonis.
What?
Yeah, the battle between the Bionis and the Mechonis was actually a battle between Zanza and Egil. But there's another battle coming.
Wow, look at that! Are they the Havres?
They're the latest anti-Mechon weapons, designed by Lorothea and the Ministry of Research. What a glorious sight. The coming together of all the peoples of Bionis.
Yes, sir.
This is how it should always have been. Then perhaps Father would not.
Your Highness.
We are fortunate that Dixon informed us of the enemy's new weapon. Our defenses are ready. Today, we start our campaign against Galahad Fortress. Just beyond the fortress lies the imperial capital of Mechonis. This is a battle to determine not just our own fates, but the future of all life on Bionis. We fight for future prosperity and the glory and honor of all. Troops, advance!
Josh, you're not as far off as you might imagine. I know you're joking, but your joke is weirdly close to the truth.
Are you saying that Zanza is to blame for Mechonis' devastation? It's Zanza's sword that I'm using. Does this mean we're enemies? And if so, why are you...
Shulk, calm down.
Sorry, I
will take you to the Mechonis capital, Agniratha.
Is that your plan? Lead us straight to the gates of our enemy? Deliver us into Egil's hands?
It will be quicker to show you than to explain. Then you will understand the history of Mechonis, and the battle between the two titans. Up ahead is a lift that leads to the central factory, within the chest of the Mechonis. The capital, Agniratha, lies just beyond there.
And just before finishing stream, I want to reach the next area. Fortunately, if I remember correctly, there are conveyor belts, yes, which helps you get to this area much quicker. These are inactive during the fight against Jadeface. And just for copper again, is big old double iris doors. I want to get to the next area to confirm my suspicion that even more than Mechonis Field, this area was designed just for you. There we go. Just look at that. This is the Mechonis Central Factory, a name I do not actually like. The direct translation from Japanese, I feel, is much better, which is the Central Arsenal.
This is the central factory within the chest of the Mechonis. Can you see the ring up ahead? At the base of that ring is a transporter that leads to Agniratha. We must first head there. This place is full of autonomous security, Mechon. Tread carefully.
And with this as our final view of the day, that is where I am going to end stream. Because just fucking look at that. As Kuko says, in all practical terms, this is the heart of Mechonis. This is in its chest. It is central, as it says. This is where all the pistons are. This is where everything happens. And so, with that, I say thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This was, as it always is, an absolutely wonderful experience. I love streaming. I particularly love streaming this game. And it was lovely to have you all here. We are, as we normally do on a Saturday, going to raid Zaid, who's playing Gartic Phone. I'm so happy you were here, Copper. It was the perfect stream for you. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. It was a ton of fun. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern, playing some Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, which is always a fun, stupid time. Xenoblade Chronicles returns next week Saturday at 5:30 Eastern, where we continue moving upward towards Agnertha, the Imperial capital. For the rest of my streams, you can check my schedule on Discord. I may have 1 or 2 special streams coming in the future. We'll see about that. But yeah, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful evening, I want to say, but time zone going forward. Stay cute, you are all rad, and I will see you all around. Ciao.